Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Compound Fracture Blaze Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're back. This is Spanovsky. We've made trees. We made lots and lots of trees. We are a lover of nature, unless nature gets in the way of our oil. And then we do what we got to do. You know, it was nature's fault. Nature forced it upon us. So, yeah. How's the train going? Oh, the train's going great. We're almost at the point of making the tunnel. In fact, I think we just finished the last stretch pre-tunnel, and the tunnel has indeed been assigned, so it's the next thing to be built. It will be done in time, for sure, for the refinery to start exporting. Meanwhile, we have streamlined our steel production here. This supply should build up over time now, instead of shrinking over time, as it was. What's happening at the moment, though? We don't have iron at the moment. I should really check on what's going on with the iron, because iron should not be the bottleneck for steel. Not in this land. Oh, I see. That explains it. What have you done, trains? Go there. Uh-oh. I guess I need to fix this. I might need to delete one of these trains. That's terrible. Can you turn around? Yeah, if you turn around. Oh, well, this is terrible. I'm going to pause it. We might have to just delete this train. That's really bad. That shouldn't be happening, though. I guess we need to redesign the semaphore area over here. Okay. I really should have put one like that. I don't know why I didn't before. That's silly. It's totally my fault. Can you turn around? Like, yeah. Good. Okay, so we can solve this. That's fine. It's very solvable. And then go there. Yeah. Yep, okay. It's all solved. No train deletion necessary. We just missed one semaphore when we were planning this for some reason. Just a silly little mistake. But it is fixed now. Go there, please. Yeah, we're fine. But that explains why the steel production held up most recently. Meanwhile, our iron is, of course, completely full. We just got this one train worth of stuff. So he has to wait for this guy to get into the next section of track over there, and then he'll be good. It is quite a wait. It would be nice to have a pullout somewhere between here and the other pullout way over there. I might consider doing that at some point soon. But once he reaches here, the other one will start, so he's about to reach there. It's not that big of a deal, really, to have these guys wait for each other for now. There he goes. Okay, well, that problem's solved. Certainly explains the lack of steel output, though. And because we designed the system a bit better, we do have a small float of steel here. And also because we assigned this to 10%, which we shouldn't be. It should be 0%. That was supposed to be a temporary measure. It became permanent when we ran out of steel here. Or ran out of iron. So here comes the new iron. Fortunately, coal's had a chance to almost entirely fill up, so we're not going to be coal bottlenecked for a while now, which is great. And the fact that the coal didn't entirely fill up means we didn't actually lose any production in the long term. Because we never ran out of space to store the coal, so that's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. Okay, so I'm actually going to go back to using this this yard here to store steel. I wasn't for a while. Oh, did I already do that? I guess so, right? Maybe not. I guess it's just been sitting here with a little bit of steel for the entire time. It's weird. So we're going to tell him to also unload over here. We need to get all of these construction areas back to being like the way they should be. So 80% steel. Yeah. Okay. So this should now have everything in it. It does. So these construction offices should be using this for all of the things. Oh, that's not what I meant. Here. Yeah, it's not going to do that without me forcing it one at a time here. That'll make things go an awful lot faster. I notice this warehouse is also done. Okay, that'll really help speed along construction of fuel tile here. Just making that little tweak now that we have more localized resource storage. And meanwhile, these ones over here, these two, should be using this for steel, which they haven't been recently. So, steel and steel. Okay. So now we're in a situation where the only reason this one exists is to temporarily store the steel that's going to be used internally, which will then be transported to all the various little local construction hubs and also to the mechanical components facility here. So that's great. Okay, and the forklifts are running non-stop now. We still have tons of coal. Like, we're doing great on coal. If anything, we're worker bottlenecked briefly. It won't last long, though. Probably. So this is going much better. Meanwhile, we will want to take this and... are you doing mechanical component distribution at all? You should be. Yes. Yeah, it's loading here, that's right. It's only dropping off one place, though? It's kind of weird. I think I might have dropped the ball on these warehouses. It's definitely dropping off there, okay. So now... Yeah, I think I have, like, somehow in the shuffle, a lot of this stuff kind of got forgot about. I kind of set it to build the infrastructure that we would use, and then when we got it built, we didn't really hook the things up quite the way they're supposed to be. Okay, and then there's a new warehouse over here that I remember we assigned it to be built, and then we just waited and waited and waited, and it never really got there. So do that. And again, 80. Good enough. And we're importing electric, but not mechanical. And that's exactly how it should be. So now you, limit amount, and we'll just do this. Make sure it's like a more... Actually, you know what? We can afford it at this point. Let's keep a stockpile of electrical components, which we hadn't been doing in the past. Okay, now over here, same deal. Limit amount, take everything off except the components. Okay. And I think this one's already pretty well set up. I mean, that's okay. Maybe get a bit more of them going, but not much. And now we want to get these construction offices again using the right components. So that's a fire? No, new vehicle. Okay. So we'll get rid of... we'll do that, and we'll do that. And then same with mid-constructio over here. We're getting there. This is still going all the way to the frickin' border for components. That's bad. Okay, so that should speed along construction. We now have each of our 3 main construction hubs has its own localized supply of absolutely everything. We have production hubs like this wood area, and they ship resources to all of the construction hubs. And then the construction hubs all have their own local supply of absolutely everything they could possibly need. So that's wonderful. That's really, really, really going to help us in the long run. It's going to be great. It is great. It's already great. I feel greatness within us. We just need to let it all out in the world. It's kind of weird. It's kind of strange having greatness inside us. I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit sexy, I guess, but. So what's happening here? It's weird that this aggregate storage seems to be at like stuck lower. Oh, I guess it's just matching the level here. Yeah, we got 39% there. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. We are picking up gravel locally, right? Let's just double check that. Yeah. No? Oh, no. We're not picking up any of these things locally, so we haven't switched those yet. We need to do that. So switch all 3 of those. And then same with this guy, because it needs all of those supplies as well. I keep thinking we've gotten it all our stuff together here, and it keeps proving me wrong. It's like, oh no, you still got more stuff to worry about. Okay, so that's all. That's everything. This one's still filling up slowly and being unloaded pretty quickly because we got a lot of local construction. But yeah, that... Oh, hey, our train station just finished. That's nice. This is going good. I hope I planned everything out right. It's possible we'll need some more active pumps in here. I don't think so, though. I think you can afford to have one storage outside of the... Like the refinery will push... Like, each storage in this game, right? Like your basic, like, warehouses and store yards... don't actually move goods anywhere. They're just this passive, like, sink for goods. So you need either an active pushing element or an active pulling element, either pushing to them or taking from them. So, like, for instance, if I had 2 of these oil fuel storages hooked up next to each other, they would never move oil from the one to the other. It just wouldn't happen. The connection between them would be nothing. So you would need to have a pump between the 2 to do an active pull from one and an active push into the other. But I'm pretty sure that the oil refinery here will actively pull from the source and actively push to these. And then we have pumps to go from there. And same with this this fuel loading and unloading. That'll actively pull. I'm pretty sure. And if it doesn't work, we can always change it later. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So we're getting some progress happening here. Unfortunately, it's very slow going with this tunnel. The rail construction car is on its way. But, I mean, realistically, it's going to take a while because that tunnel does require quite a few things to build. And actually, I'm going to want to have a bypass in here somewhere so that we can... better have... Oh, and I should have done... Look. Okay, so mistakes were made. We do want to have the possibility of... And I shouldn't have done it that way either. We do want to have the possibility of having separate bitumen and fuel export trains. So if we do that, that'll work. So we'll just make it like that, and we'll have separate trains. And they will, yeah. And so that way we can export both substances at once without having the awkward thing where we have to like try to somehow balance one train between the 2. We will want 2 separate trains for that. So that'll work fine. We probably want one bypass somewhere in the middle, give or take. And somewhere over here is probably fine for that. Building's on fire. Oh no. Is that a building within reach of a fire station? I hope. Yes, it is. I think it is. Wait, no fire trucks coming? Are you serious? Oh my god, look at that. Ah! It's like that frickin' close, but not quite. I hate fire stations in this game. I hate them with a burning passion. Okay. Well, there's the possibility it would be faster if we put a bypass in, but I don't think so. I don't think that'll make enough of a difference. Because I'm pretty sure the fastest route is... yeah. Along the main highway. I think. Well, that's terrible. I think that just means we lose that warehouse, have to rebuild it. Oh well, worse things have happened. We'll just demolish, yeah, whatever. It's fine. We're just gonna get a lot better as we go in this game at making more fire stations, basically. We need, like, way more fire stations than we think we need. Just because they're so bad at, like, having a decent range or, like, going anywhere that's even slightly out of their range. It's just too much for them. Oh well. Not a big deal building like a single warehouse, and we lost some food, but we have tons of food. So we're okay. We're producing like a crazy surplus of food right now. Which isn't a bad thing. Hey, there's another prefab done here. So let's populate it. We'll pick one of these buildings again, and just send everyone over. Where are we going? Over here. There we go. Now this one will refill. And we're good to go. More workers for the bus stop. That's nice. We can actually, I guess, switch this bus to come in from the other direction like we always intended to. Maybe we should just do a new bus line instead. We'll use one of the big, huge buses, and then that'll come by every once in a while and just empty out all the excess. I like it. We'll use one of these IKR 280s. Giant bus for the coal mine. So we're going to go from fuel tile with this one straight up to this little local coal mine up here. Done. Easy enough. So now we won't have an excess of workers here at any point. Better than a minor famine. Yes. Much better than a minor famine. It's like we have tons of, like, we will not have a famine again until we build like a lot more city space. So last year we only used something like a quarter of our food supply, but before we started harvesting again. Speaking of harvesting, we're in full harvest mode right now. And our silos are halfway full, which is probably about right, judging by the state of these fields. Meanwhile, we have tons of workers working at the food factory. And it's telling me we can't export food. It's telling me that's the bottleneck, which is interesting. That means we must need more covered things here, I guess. But, I mean, we have a lot. That wasn't a problem in the past, I don't think. It's probably because in the past... like, when we set this up, we were only moving food to the border here and also to the town. And now we're moving all the food over here, which is a longer drive. So these vehicles will be spending a longer time bringing the excess food over there. So let's solve this. Fortunately, we also have access to much larger trucks now. So we're going to add a couple big guys. So what were we using before? These T-138s and the 148s are the replace. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You know what? Screw it. We'll just do T-148s. Whatever. It's fine. I didn't mean to, but just for the sake of uniformity. We want everything to be exactly the same all the time, right? That's how you know you're succeeding. Nobody should have independent thoughts or motivations. Okay. So hopefully that'll be enough to keep the farm working, and so far so good. Those new trucks are immediately bringing the food to the warehouses. That's a bottleneck I didn't know existed, so it's nice to know about. It's not a big deal, though. And meanwhile, our coal storage is full, which is interesting. So, are irons having trouble? Really? Did my fix over here not work? My fix over here didn't work. How is that even possible? Okay, turn around. I mean, go there and then turn around. Where are you going? No. Go there. Really? Oh, wait, did I? No, I didn't do that right. Go here. Yeah, that's right. Whoa. What the hell? Go there, turn around. What did I do wrong? I did something wrong, clearly. Oh, I didn't make these mixed. That's the problem. I made the other one mixed when I changed it, but I didn't make those mixed. Very, very simple. Very, very simple problem. So that'll be fine now. This time it is fixed for realsies. I actually made it worse with my solution last time, unfortunately. Previously, it was only a problem when it just so happened that they hit the same spot at like exactly the same time. But post-fix, it was going to be a problem like all the time. As long as they were both in the station or anywhere near the station at the same time. Okay, refixed. Refixed it. Fixed it for realsies this time. Wow, why are you going so slow? I know you're slow, but you shouldn't be that slow, right? Oh, it's because you just got going. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. The hookah. Crazy. Why is it, what's with all the blue, I wonder? I guess that's a new thing, too. There must have been a new patch since last week when I played last, like a minor patch, because I've noticed a few differences. And one of them is that when you click on these town names, it actually shows you the range that the name counts for. Like, that was not the case before. Like, if we click on fuel tile, the game will label anything within this range as being part of fuel tile, all the blue dots. So that's neat. We can also put city halls in, I think, and that controls like what the city hall considers part of the city. And I haven't used city halls very often. They have some good little demographic information, and they can be very helpful. I have built them in the past, but I just don't see the point, really, for the most part. Maybe eventually they'll fix the fire truck range. That would be good. I don't know if that's actually something to be fixed or not. I think it's working as intended. I'm just a little bit bitter about the intention. I think it's very counterintuitive, and I don't think it makes too much sense that if something's 299 meters away from a fire hall, no problem. If it's 301 meters away, you're screwed. Because construction offices don't quite work that way. You can assign them manually, and you can work around it for another 2 kilometers. But oh well. Not that big of a deal, I suppose, in the broad scheme of things. You just rebuild a building every once in a while, and you're fine. It's interesting, with these bigger dump trucks, I'm actually regretting picking the smaller, cheaper excavator. Normally, I figure with these quarries, the trucks are the bottleneck in terms of, like, your throughput, so you don't really care that much about the size of the excavator, because by the time this guy gets back, this one will be done. Oh, and now he's off to get fuel. Nice. Oh, well. Got tons of gravel here anyway, so it's not actually a problem at all. I really like this compact little construction zone we built, the most recent one. It's well designed. It's very efficient at what it does. Okay. Hope I left enough room for a semaphore in here. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's just maybe make sure. Oh yeah, there's tons of space. Good. It's very important, though, that there be a room for a semaphore so we can get this working. Avoid the same problems we had in the iron area. Put it that way. And now the construction's going much better because we're not steel bottlenecked anymore on our construction at all. We now have our steel mill. I mean, actually, let's be real. We probably are because we've had problems with iron. But outside of that, we shouldn't be. If the iron was going okay, which it will from now on, we should be fine. Yeah, and we've been building up a float anyway over here, I'd assume. Nope, no float. We will be building up a float once we catch up with demand. Now that the iron trains are going to work again. Especially since we have more coal miners here now. Let's adjust these numbers a bit, not that they matter too much. Overflow will always go to the coal mine anyway. Look at all this coal ore, though. The mine is more than fueling the processing plant, so we don't have any lack of workers here. So actually, that was probably a pretty big error. We should make sure that the processing plant has priority. Interesting. Didn't expect that to be the case, but either way, we got tons of coal at the moment. Oh, I suppose the processing plant isn't working because it has nowhere to store, because this has been full. But now there's iron trains in the dock, and now we're operating without issues, and we're worker bottlenecked again, and we're happy about that. No more iron headaches. And we'll be exporting more steel very soon. Really, you were empty. Interesting. So are you? Really? We haven't had any population issues in here, have we? No. It's just that this town has so many buses coming and going from it. The bus stops are pretty oversaturated with buses. Which is part of the reason we built this town, was to take some pressure off. So we should be thinking in those terms soon. Maybe changing this coal mine's route, both of them maybe, to the fuel tile stop. There's another building that's built, so that's wonderful. We'll populate it. Okay, that's not quite the right place. There it is. Seems good. Okay. So what's going on here now? Oh, we've got max shoppers. I turned this one down too far. How's the heating going? That's really, really, really important. It is not at all. Hey, it's September. We need to worry about heating. If we don't worry about heating now, missing coal. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, whatever. So we turn on the purchasing of coal if we have to. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, but still, let's make the coal deliveries happen. And if we hit winter and we haven't gotten any coal deliveries at our heating plant yet, we will just turn on auto purchase, and we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that it happens. Should be okay. It's not too far away. That's totally not the right building. Good job, me. Turn that one off. And this building. Seems good. Okay. Should get on it right away. We also have to make sure we have workers going there, which we do not. So let's do that. Make it kind of like that, I suppose. Might need more little buses, actually. We're not really filling these. Yeah, let's get some more little buses. 2 more, maybe? I do love the little buses for the super important routes, you know. Just because that way you don't actually run into huge problems with them happening to arrive. Like if you have one big bus, it arrives at the wrong time, and then you don't get anyone, and you're screwed. So that's this one. Start. And oh, go away. You. Do the same one, please, and start. All right. Building's on fire. Uh-oh. Oh, it's fine. It's just the super expensive radio station, but there's fire trucks. Actually gonna buy a 4th one of these little tiny fire trucks just to make sure we have enough. Okay. Good stuff. Fire's out. All right. And this fire station is functional. What's its range like? It is going to cover the town. It's not going to cover the coal fields at all, which isn't surprising. And this is really good news. It covers all of the oil fields. I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case or not, so I'm really happy it is. Afternoon, Twisted Officer. Hello, hello. I assume that was you on the YouTube comment, eh? Like mourning the loss of our dear departed friend. It's funny, like when I saw your comment there, assuming that was you, how many officers could there possibly be? I think it was the same like avatar too. I'm not sure, but I realized I actually mislabeled that video. That was the second last video, so I changed the labels very quickly and hope nobody noticed. Oh well. Yes, this music's bopping all right, for sure. Yep. So that was actually the second last episode that you commented on. So now when people come along, because I changed the title, right? Because I changed the title so the titles were correct. And so now when people come along and see your comment, it'll make absolutely zero sense to anybody. So I got you there. Yeah, got myself there too. I'm gonna create confusion among my audience. It's fine. Happens. We were born confused and we'll die confused. What comes between is gameplay, I guess. So it did call fire trucks. We suddenly got a lot of fires happening, but fortunately this one is within range. The fire station's right there, so that's good. All right. Okay. So do we have steel here yet? No, we don't. So we are still waiting on steel to get these construction jobs finished. I mean, our steel mill's going fine right now, I assume. Should be okay. You know, one way we could control the amount of steel that goes both directions is to build more forklifts on this side and less on the other one. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to like build at least a third one there. And for now, I'm going to go down a forklift over here. And hopefully, I mean, that'll make it so that 3/4 of the steel goes towards this until this one's full, and then it'll really start going towards this. So like that'll make sense. That'll prioritize internal steel use rather than export. So that'll be good. Okay, so yeah. All of this hookah land over here requires tons and tons and tons of steel. Actually, it might behoove me to completely shut down exports for a while. I think I'm going to do that, actually. So let's, like, tell that to stop. Stop working, you forklift. You're done for now. You're dead to me temporarily before you'll be back to life again. Then I'm going to tell you to go export what you have and come back, and then you'll just sit there forevermore. It'll be fine. The iron trains are sitting here. How's our coal supply doing? It's not quite keeping up, but it's kind of close to keeping up. And that's good. Like, the fact that it's close is decent progress. Once we get the coal buses transferred over to fuel tile, that'll seriously help the steel mill to get enough workers out of Spanovsky. Spanovsky is definitely worker starved at the moment. So we should be thinking about expanding fuel tile as quickly as possible. Really? Not assigned? Weird. I guess it's all of the hookah oil fields that are assigned right now. Notice, by the way, how the trees I planted look all nice and scattered and kind of like natural, just from going like moving my mouse around really fast with no rhyme or reason. Turns out rhymes and also reasons are both overrated. And Spanovsky looks really beautiful with all these trees in it. Such a nice town, filled with foliage. It's all about the foliage. You can never have enough foliage. I'm actually going to put more foliage in. It'll be beautiful. Ooh, whoops. More. Now that this town is essentially done, probably for all time, we might make tweaks later, but not anytime soon. It'll be nice to make it all green. Green and happy. Happy and green. Happily making propaganda for our empire and educating our citizens. Very nice. Foliage breeds corruption. Well, I mean, that might be true, but I don't really have an answer for that. Okay, here's my answer. taking out the trees one at a time, uprooting them like bit by bit would be way too much micromanagement for me. So I'm just going to pretend that corruption's okay. We have not tolerated any corruption in our empire, not even the slightest bit of corruption up until now. I'm certainly not corrupt, certainly. But, you know, just to save on the micromanagement, let's just leave it alone. It's good. Yeah, I really enjoyed RimWorld, you know, officer. And it's one of those things where RimWorld has such a flow to it, right? Where, I mean, it's true that I'd never done the hardest difficulty before, and I was going to die at a certain point. Like I was not gonna win, you know? I was not gonna launch an off-world rocket that game, put it that way. But that being said, I have built much better bases than that in the past. I've built very compact bases with great defenses and not sprawling and not like overbuilt the way that one was. And you know, I made 2 very poor defensive efforts near the beginning. One with raiders and then one with a grizzly bear, and basically that created the combination of poor planning and poor defenses, just 2 of them, created a situation where we could not recover. And I think this one is within range of the fire truck. Yes, it is. It's funny, like, this warehouse burned down because there were no fire trucks. This one, right next to it, that's just fine. It's just fine. The fire truck's on its way. Oh, well. So I want to do another one sooner rather than later. In fact, I'm thinking my next stream, either tomorrow or the next day, see how it goes, will probably be a RimWorld stream. And I want to, like, actually remember how to build a compact, defensible base. And I bet we'll get much farther. We'll do the same hard difficulty settings, and we'll get much farther than we did this time. And I think I'm going to keep up a lot of RimWorld. Like, the way I've set my... Like I've been trying to sort of stay on 3 videos a day recently on YouTube and keep that consistent. But I've moved, rather than being two Cataclysm videos every day, it's been 1 Cataclysm and 1 RimWorld every day. And I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from Cataclysm-ish. I have 2 weeks of Cataclysm, or not 2 weeks, 1 week of Cataclysm content in the can from the most recent Deckard Cain series. 8 videos, I think, that have yet to be published. So we can take the foot off the gas on Cataclysm for a little while, and then we'll run with the RimWorld for a little while and pick back up the Cataclysm sometime within the next week for sure. Once I've had a chance to recharge the Cataclysm batteries, because we spent a long time just like almost every stream Cataclysm, and everyone that wasn't Cataclysm was Workers and Resources. So it was time for some fresh meat, time for some fresh games, a little bit of variety, and that'll make Cataclysm new and fun again for me. So that'll be good. That's the plan for right now. I appreciate the compliment, Twisted. I'm not so sure I held out that long. I'll admit I did really well at that 1 defense. The first raid with like 3 or 4 guns that we were not in any way prepared for. That one particular raid I nailed. I split them all up. I somehow managed to fend them all off. We lost one of our dudes, I forget who it was, shortly after because I mismanaged the infection a bit. But we could have, if I had decided to use 1 Glimmerworld medicine, which we had 2 of, and I don't know why I didn't decide to use 1, we could have saved everyone. We would have been fine. But, yeah. Oh, well. It was a mixed bag for sure, but I could have done better. I'll put it that way. I will do better next time, for sure. And I really like RimWorld. It's been a while since I played it, and it's time, you know? Even if I wasn't streaming, it would be time to, like, hammer on the RimWorld for a while again. Because it's one of those games I do come back to every once in a while. Like Cataclysm, like Workers and Resources. That's sort of my habit when it comes to off-stream video gaming, is that I'll binge a certain game for like a couple weeks, and then I'll move on to another one, right? I'm not really used to this being a consistent thing. Anyway, why isn't this working? Okay, I don't understand that. Missing resources gravel. It says it's not assigned, though, like it should be. I guess it's just that we've assigned too many roads, but we really haven't, though, have we? No. This one has nothing assigned to it at all, and it's supposed to be auto-searching for roads, and it can't find that one? What? Game. That's not right. Now, Toro lease stock is here, right? Yeah, because we had that nameplate we didn't want. It's right here. So yeah. So gravel, fuel tile, that's right. So why aren't you working? What am I missing? We have dumpers. Why aren't you building? That's this one. It's this one. It's only 600 meters away. That should be working. Weird. Very, very weird. I don't know why that road didn't build. All the rest of them did, though, right? Yeah. Yeah, all the rest of these were slowly building. It's just that one decided not to for some bizarre reason. Oh, well. Maybe I turned it off. Did I? No, I didn't suspend it. It's fine. Oh, well. Yeah, I probably would like oxygen not included. I checked it out at one point. Just like, I think I watched a Let's Play or two, like not the whole series, but just like a couple like Let's Look At kind of videos. And I thought it was something I'd be into. But I decided to wait until the development was a little bit more mature before jumping in. But that was a while ago now, so I'm sure the development has moved along a fair bit since then. We're always spoiled for choice when it comes to these amazing sort of builder games that are all early access. I kind of feel like the way to do it is not to jump on board right away when they first come onto early access, but to wait a little while. Of course, as a streamer now that I'm a streamer, I gotta like turn that thing completely upside down. As a player, I'd want to wait for a mature game, but as a streamer, you want to strike while the iron's hot, right? So I should really be thinking in terms of as soon as something hits early access, just get at it. Just give it. Anyway. Now, part of the reason we've had such a steel bottleneck is because the sheer amount of steel required for all of these rigs and pumps and pipes is just ludicrous, especially when you consider they all require tons of mechanical components too, and that's just steel with extra steps. So we've picked a really bad time to let our iron trains be in that really rough shape there, as they were. And it's definitely a worker bottleneck at the moment. Look at all these buses. Like, so this one had a bunch of workers. These two, 30 workers, 22. Okay, so that's not too bad then. I expected worse. And there's another one. 12 only out of 40 in that one. But yeah, we're resupplying with workers. They might have been stuck behind another vehicle or something. There might have been a lineup waiting to get into the steel or something. But yeah, we gotta get moving on this steel. Come on, guys. I'm glad the coal is filled up, though. Like, as soon as we started running a second bus over to this one, we haven't had any coal issues since then. What we really need to do is, at least this stop, we need to kind of restrict. Look at how many buses are going to that one stop. We got a lot of population, but that is a ton of buses. Like, oh my God. They're mostly microbuses, which is fine, but... And microbuses do fine even when there aren't that many workers available at any given time, because as soon as we get a handful more workers, a new microbus comes along and grabs them. But yeah, whatever route is going from here to the steel mill, I should reassign those buses. So let's see if we can find that. Okay, so routes, bus routes. It's now getting to the point that we have enough buses in general that it's a real challenge to figure out what's going where sometimes. So... we're looking at Spanovsky Platform 1 to Hamilton Bus Stop. And not Bus Stop 2, just Bus Stop 1. And that doesn't actually exist. Oh, it does. It's... or does it? I think we had it opposite. We had it, like, switched around somehow. Maybe not. Let's see. Hamilton... yeah, okay. Starterville bus platform. Oh, I see. It's because we renamed that bus platform. This is the one though for sure. So we're gonna set this to. It was before we renamed the city Spanovsky away from Starterville. So we're gonna do that one. At least reassign one bus, right? Like, so this one now has 5 buses on that route, including one big bus, and the other one only has 2. So that's probably a slightly better balance, I suppose. Meanwhile, the steel is finally starting to fill up. And look at this. Our steel distribution office here has 4 trucks in the bay. So that means we must have filled up our steel storage over here. And we absolutely have. So we finally reached a point where our steel buffer is now pretty much good. So I'm going to start this forklift operating again. Load is how we do that. And I'm actually going to buy a second forklift here again, even though we sold it earlier. And so that will still have 60%. 60% of all the steel we make will go to this open storage and 40% to the export. And we can manage those ratios by how many... I mean, I guess that's not quite true, is it? Because they both only have 1 forklift running at the moment. But I think it's still okay. Because all of our 3 construction zone open storages all have a full buffer of steel at the moment. So, yeah, we're solid. At least temporarily solid. And all these flatbeds are sitting in the bays, too. So, I mean, we must have delivered all the steel that all these buildings need for their phase of construction right now, which is really impressive. Like, oh, these are all doing groundworks. That probably explains part of it. But this one, for instance, 250 tons of steel, but it doesn't have any mechanical. So let's worry about that. We really actually need to get these mechanical components going better. So what's lacking in that? We probably need a second covered. No, this covered isn't doing anything? Oh, what's wrong with this? Source without mechanical components. Uh-oh. I know why. It's because we only have like 2 covered trucks to do the running around of the mechanical components. So I think at least temporarily, maybe even permanently, I'm just going to tell this particular construction office to get it straight from the factory. And that'll let it go. Like this truck should start getting the mechanical components from the factory now, right? Wait, what? I guess it failed to change it because it's still, yeah. Sometimes you have to like select it. Oh no! Wait. Why are you without mechanical components? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why is that empty? Why is that of no steel? What? That's your fault. I see. It's not actually set to grab steel unless steel's over 30%, and it hasn't been over 30% in a very long time. So that's the issue. The issue is that we had it set so that we wanted to keep a float of steel here because construction offices were taking directly from here in the past, but now they're not, so that's unnecessary. Okay, winter's hit. Let's make sure that our guys aren't freezing to death here. They are not freezing to death. That's excellent. We need a hospital. We never built a hospital here. That's a problem. That's like a big problem. But this small heating plant's operating very well, so that's good. So let's immediately start work on a hospital right near the center of town. That was something I should have done, but I did not. So I think we figured most of these problems out. We're going to do the mod hospital again, just so we have an extra driveway, because that seems to really help. The base game hospital is just terribly designed. So we're going to put it here, maybe? We're going to have to move that footpath, but that's okay. Oh, that's actually fine like that, I suppose. Well, yeah, we'll move the footpath. Not a big deal. Okay, so demolish the footpath. Now we'll put a road in. Put an asphalt road in, I guess. Do it like that. And then actually auto-buy it, maybe. Yeah, because it's so short. Might as well. And then, oh yeah, that footpath can still go there. Oh, that's good. It's perfect. Look at that. Very nice. And then that means we need an asphalt road here. And that seems okay to me. Let's do the wireframe so it looks all pretty. Yeah, okay. So, here, I'm going to put a couple tenements in that little gap, and then we'll fill the road in when we know how big the road should be. So kind of like that. I think that's enough room for footpaths, I'm pretty sure. And then we'll just do a bit of a slopey road like this by doing there to there. There. Might as well stretch it out a bit. And then just a little curvy bit like that, and then build. And yeah, you know what? I'll leave that for later. That's fine. Okay. Good stuff. If I'm feeling adventurous during the next RimWorld stream, Ice Sheet Cannibal sounds entertaining. It does. Now, okay, so I really want to, get to the point that I can reliably survive into the sort of mid to late game at that hardest difficulty before I start doing like full-on challenge runs at it. I like challenge runs, don't get me wrong. Like back in the day when I played Dwarf Fortress all the time, and you know, for years now, Dwarf Fortress is a game I don't come back to quite as often as a lot of others, just because it hasn't changed that much over the years, you know? I don't think it has anyway. It's trouble with like only having one main programmer doing it, but anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so back in the day with Dwarf Fortress, I used to always have this challenge that I ran. I do evil biomes always and keep respawning until I had an undead biome. Every time an undead biome. And then I had a personal rule of thumb where I would not place any doors or drawbridges between my dwarfs and the surface. So I had a barrack sitting up there like right near the surface, standing guard. And that barracks would always be filled with well-equipped dwarves, and I'd get like my smelting and forging on right away. Like first step, always embark with bronze working gear, like bronze ores and stuff, so I could get bronze armor instantly, and rely on having a barracks near the surface to stop the undead things trying to come down and get me all the time, and that was my challenge. It was like, yeah, it was very, very nice. So I like stuff like that. I like really difficult challenges in those type of games that sort of change the game, you know, that make it sort of a different type of challenge, you know, because RimWorld, for the most part, if you can survive the early game, it turns into this game where the longest night, eh? I've never tried the longest night. I should do that. Maybe that's something to put on the stream list. I mean, we have a couple brand new games right now, but later maybe that would be a really good idea. But anyway, I like mods. Okay, so what was I saying? RimWorld. Once you get to the point that you can survive the early game reliably, and I suppose it was far more true before all the changes that were made to make the late game so much harder than it used to be. But sometimes it could turn into this thing where you just have all your bases covered and you just kind of like keep building shit, you know? And you just cover your bases more and more and more over time, but it becomes what this game is. And this is fine and all, you know, because like there's no fail state here, right? In this workers and resources map, the fail state was the first few episodes, right? First few episodes, the whole thing could have gone belly up anytime. But now that we're at this point, we're fine. We will never die. This game will go on forever. We'll just keep building. There'll be periodic crises, but we'll solve them. It'll be fine. I'm not a fan of that. I like the constant crisis. I like the having everything be a smaller scale, but also like a constant effort to survive. I like that kind of gameplay. So Ice Sheet is probably like right up my alley. But not right away. Not until I've gotten to the point where we get like a decent colony, you know, where we have most of our research done and we're producing sort of relatively later game weapons, not like super late game, but like enough that we feel like we've accomplished building a colony, like a proper colony on the rim. Then I'll start looking for further challenges. And that day will come, my friends. We will challenge ourselves. I may not be the best RimWorld player today, but I'm not a dummy, and I will figure it out over time. We will get there. Look at how beautiful that is. My lord, this is a pretty game. Especially now that I have trees. Like, look at how gorgeous that is. I'm just going to take a moment and just, like, bask in the glory that is this little town here. Because holy cow. Such a simple graphical style, but so beautiful. Yes, Omnivore, it will be a great ride. My guess is that probably the RimWorld Let's Plays won't be the most popular on YouTube because there's so many YouTube RimWorld videos up there, and there's people who are way better at the game than I am who have played it. But on Twitch, on the Twitch side of things, RimWorld's amazing. It's like every day will be a new adventure for us, and that's great. And I'm definitely finding, like, I know I've told you guys this before, but like my own personal habits, especially since I'm such a night owl and I live on the West Coast, I don't tend to see things live very often. The other thing about me is I like being able to, the freedom of just hitting pause and then hitting play again. So I've always watched this stuff on YouTube. Like, I love the commentary, I love interaction with chat and all that, even to watch. But I'll watch it on YouTube or VODs on Twitch, and I'll do it at my own pace. That's just always been my way. So, like, when I started doing this, even though I knew I was streaming, and I knew I wanted to stream, and I knew I wanted to interact with chat, and I knew chat would be one of the best parts, but I was thinking, like, my objectives and my goals were more YouTube-oriented rather than Twitch-oriented, just because that was my history. That was where I was coming from. So, at this point, I think that's all turned on its head. The YouTube channel is not really taken off. There aren't that many views. I think there will be, you know, like, I've got good content on there, and enough good content, and they will eventually come. But at the same time, Twitch is where it's at, you know? Like, I'd have a dead YouTube channel forever if I could trade it for having a lively Twitch chat, you know? It's the most important thing, so. So a game like RimWorld, which is maybe not a YouTube friend, like a friend to the YouTube channel, but is great on Twitch, is better than, say, Workers and Resources, which is probably a better YouTube series, if anything, because there aren't that many YouTube Workers and Resource series. There's a few, but not that many, and most of them are pretty dry, in fairness. You know, no offense to anyone who's creating them. I'm sure, some of them are great, but there aren't that many, and a lot of Let's Players are pretty dry, let's be real. So I feel like Workers and Resources, if anything, might be a better YouTube series than RimWorld. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm going all over the place with this narrative. I should be talking about our beautiful empire that we're building with its tunnel that is like, man, it's taken a long time. Imagine building like a really, really long tunnel with these crane things. Hoy. You know, we'd do a lot better with these cranes if we could like have more than one rail yard, or what do you call them, rail construction office, or have one closer or something, but oh well. We have built our cake and we will eat it. That's how the saying goes, right? We've built our cake and we will eat it? I think so. We're gonna eat our cake. So all I'm saying is I like cake, okay? Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, Twitch is good. And also discoverability, right? Like Twitch channels are way more discoverable than YouTube channels. You've got like raids and you know, the search has limited results, right? Like if you search for something on Twitch, you might find a dozen channels doing it. But if you search for the same game on YouTube, you've got like the history of everyone's content since the beginning of time, right? So you get lost in the shuffle real easy on YouTube, but Twitch, you can stand out a bit more. And people will tune in and they'll be like, they'll hear you and they'll be like, oh, this guy sounds lively and energetic and he's talking in something other than a monotone. And then they'll stick around, right? So it's good. That's a good point, Slick Sacks. Yes. This game is much more popular in Germany, Eastern Europe, Russia, that kind of zone than it is in the English-speaking world. That's for sure. It's a very German-style game based loosely on Eastern Europe and Russia, so I guess it makes sense. Oh, well. Oh, Shackleford, you are my old favorite, but we haven't built on you for a long time because I don't need you for anything. Shackleford, I think, is doomed to forever be a small farming and mining community, whereas the brand new community of Fuel Tile is set to grow exponentially because it'll be fueling both these mines and also the gigantic oil refinery. And we're going to build a university in Fuel Tile. And we're probably going to have some farms over here too, I think. So Fuel tile is going to be the next big metropolis of this world. Speaking of which, I should keep flattening around fuel tile to make that happen. Totally twisted, yeah. And I mean, that goes back to where I was at when I started, right? Like, if I wasn't thinking just from my personal consumption in terms of YouTube, I probably would have just started a Twitch channel and maybe thrown the VODs up on YouTube or whatever. But having the hourly episodes and the intros and outros and stuff on YouTube is a nice thing. And, you know, that would be what I would consume of my content if I was consuming my own content for some reason. Don't do that. It's weird, by the way. But anyway, if I was, then, yeah. I'm happy I did it that way. I think it's good. As long as I don't do something dumb and forget to, like, clear out hard drive space or something. There's no editing involved. It's just hitting play and hitting stop. And I'd be taking breaks every couple hours anyway on Twitch, so I might as well do it in a more structured way, right? Let's make sure that we're not freezing people to death. How about that? That's a good idea. So this is operating without issues. Full 7 out of 7 workers, pretty consistently. Coal seems to be showing up on time. This one, 20 out of 30, fine. Power plant's a little bit iffy. We do have like 12 frickin' buses going to it, though, so if that's not enough, I don't know what to say. In fact, the power plant's looking real iffy. How are these buses doing? 7 workers, 7 workers, so they'll get there hopefully before the other ones leave. If I had this to do over again, I think I'd be really, I'd really put this technical services office, which I have over here, I'd put it more over here to make sure that this route to the power plant is always clear. Because these snowfalls just destroy my ability to keep the power plant going. It did cut off entirely there for a minute or two. So, meanwhile, I'm going to crank that even higher. 50% at the power plant, please. But yeah, like look at all these little buses. There's like millions of them. There's, yeah, 6 on their way and 6 on the way back. There's 12 total buses coming here, and most of them should have a full load of 7 most of the time. Like that one does. That one is 0. That one is 7. So it should be plenty. Oh well. Not ideal. I would do it a little bit differently in hindsight, but not much differently. It's more or less okay. How are we doing in terms of food storage over here? These silos look like they filled entirely. I mean, that's all right. It would be nice to have a few more workers coming in here, but it's okay. We're making plenty of clothes. Like, this factory's been sitting at a constant 70% every time I checked it, this warehouse. And 70% is the number where the export trucks start. These are probably both export trucks. Yeah, customs house. So yeah, I mean, clothing's fine. You really don't need to worry about it. Meat is surely fine. I bet you this thing's like packed, right? Oh yeah. Get it? The meat's packed. Ha! Yeah, so this meat storage will keep a constant float. We'll have excess. We should probably have a little export zone too. Let's do that. Let's put like 3 little meat export trucks just when this gets over 90 maybe. So we will put in one of the mod ones, I guess, again. I like these little mod... I'm a big fan of the smaller distribution offices and the smaller warehouses. Those are the only mods that... like, the only storage mods I like to use. Small warehouses, small distribution offices, because it's just silly that there aren't options for small ones, I think. Maybe less so the distribution offices. It's, you know, three vehicles is a very small number of vehicles, for sure. Oh well, whatever. It's fine. Let's put in a road here. Get this one building at least. How are you doing? You're not assigned? It's so weird. I feel like this construction office is like completely failing to auto-assign. Oh no, it's just all of the... right. It's just too many things. Too many pipelines, too many fuel storages, too many power lines. Yeah. Too many limes. Too many limes. Too many limes. Is there really such a thing as too many limes, though? Like, let's be real. Limes are delicious. So what are we lacking here? What's all out and about? I don't know. I think we have everything we might need. There's cranes. I guess we could build another crane because all the cranes are busy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just build another crane. Screw it. Might as well. Oh, we got a new crane. Oh, we got one that has way better speed. Look at that thing. It's huge. Might be too big actually to fit in these flatbeds, eh? 10 tons, and this is I bet it is too big. This is 11 tons. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna sell you for now, and I'm gonna buy a smaller one. But in the future, we'll have bigger flatbed trucks because we can buy bigger flatbed trucks now. And I'll just next time we build a construction office, we'll have bigger cranes. So tower crane, the not quite as good one, please. The 9-ton crane. Yeah. Oh well. Hey YouTube, we're done. We're over an hour. I'll catch you next time. See you around the block. Sorry for all the inside baseball. Oh, I know you loved it. I know. Bye-bye.